Hey, good afternoon or good morning, depending on what part of the world you're following me from. Let's have a fight every time Dad starts a video. As you can tell, I'm not in my normal kitchen. I'm actually at the Airbnb. I'm on the road still. But I wanted to set up this. They're fighting. They're going crazy over these toys, by the way. Wanted to share my weekly situation report, but this week's report is going to be on a single topic. Now, for those of you, because oh God, I get these stupid people who I'll put content out and I'll say, this is what was heard. I can't verify, or go investigate yourself. And they're like, "What were your sources? You're a liar." No, retarded ass, I'm not a liar. Just go Google it, and if you can't find it, say, "Hey, I tried to Google it. How did you find it?" Like they immediately end at this. COVID made people stupid. Like everyone's a pendejo now because they don't understand that the world isn't the internet, and they just lash out and call people liars, and then they get punched in real life, and they're like, "Well, he assaulted me." Well, yeah, you threatened to you put hands on my wife, so I kicked your ass. I mean, the stupid that has happened in humanity since the end of 2019 until now horrifies me because it happened in a very short period of time. But anyway, I'll get off my side quest of stupid people on the internet. Back to my story. I read last night on X that China had placed 100% tariffs on Canada. Now, when I read that, I thought, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why? Like, I get Trump wants to control the border and fentanyl and trade agreements and all that. So he's threatening tariffs to Mexico. He's threatening tariffs to Canada. The people in Canada are threatening tariffs back because Trump and Trudeau don't like each other. Trudeau thinks Trump's an ass. Trump thinks Trudeau is a weenie, and they don't play well. But why China? Like, what the hell did they have to? Why are they beating up on Canada too? I didn't understand this, so I went and dug, and I actually found a CNBC article. So for those of you who want to look for it, CNBC article about the Chinese tariffs on Canada. Now, it turns out this is not a recent thing. Last year, Canada said they were going to impose tariffs on Chinese-made EVs and a few other products from China because, and they were doing it in conjunction with the US, Mexico, and the EU, because China's been dumping low-cost EVs into other countries to take over the market. There are issues with how good the vehicles are. There are also issues with whether or not these basically driving computers can be controlled by China. So imagine that. Like, they made that movie, Leave the World Behind, where all the Teslas got hacked. But that's assuming the Teslas got hacked. Imagine if the Chinese already have control. And you're driving this Chinese car around, they're like, you know what? We're going to jam up the Brooklyn Bridge. So we're going to send all our little Chinese vehicles into the Brooklyn Bridge to have an accident. They don't even have to hack it. So there's security concerns. And so all these countries, including Canada, place tariffs on these products. So this is where it started. But this was last year. Nobody read about it here in the US because it was 6 months away. Well, now it's going into effect. So China's threatening to levy 100% tariffs on certain agricultural products, including rapeseed oil. I don't even know what a rapeseed is. That just sounds awful to me. And some other oil cakes. I don't even know what an oil cake is, unless they're referring to cake oil, which would be from the tar sands up there, which is an energy product. I'm not sure exactly what they're talking about. In any case, the bottom line is, you may look at that and say, well, I don't use rapeseed oil. I don't even know what it is. So, or I don't use oil cakes, or I don't use whatever product. But in reality, there is a cascading effect. There's a waterfall effect. Agriculture is big in Canada, the US, and Mexico. We all know that. If you have a sudden tariff effect on products and it shifts the market, we may not see an effect immediately, but we're going to see an effect down the road. Think of a conveyor belt, right? If you have 10 spots in a conveyor belt and everyone packs something different in the box and they suddenly change the size of the box in the front end, you won't see it here right away, right? Because it still has to go through all these stations. But you may notice, hey, they're putting bigger boxes or smaller boxes. I have to figure something out. So the idea is to start maneuvering here before the box reaches you, if that makes sense. So supply chain and business is much the same way. Now, the timing is interesting because they're doing this in the middle of March or early March, and the Q2 forecasts are being done right now in companies. So at the end of March, they're going to forecast, Q2 of the year to the end of the year. So my gut feeling is within the next 3 or 4 weeks, when those announcements for the coming quarters are made, that's when you're going to see the prices change. So here's why it happens. The company makes a forecast at the beginning of the year. Now we're in March, and China says your cost is going to go up X amount. Okay, shit. So they're going to now have a reduction in product going to China. They're selling less. So they're going to start forecasting layoffs. They're going to start forecasting expenses to change to maybe another product that they can make in that facility. And as all these adjustments are being made, they're being made right before they announce the Q1 results and the forecast for Q2. China did this on purpose. They could have waited till April to do it, but no, they wanted to get Canada right before the Q1 because it has to get announced that, our costs are going to go up next month, and then the market's going to go whoop. So what do you do? How does this affect us? Well, I'm going to go back to the 5 forces of business. This is a concept Professor Michael Porter wrote back in like the 80s or 90s on the effects of business. So if I have a business, I'm affected by 5 things around me. One is being my own decisions, but the effect of suppliers, the effect of the buyers. There are other factors, availability, inflation in the market, and these things affect my business, and I have to adjust accordingly. You can apply these same lessons to yourself personally. So ask yourself, unless you're in agriculture and you're going to get hit right away, if tariffs go up, product sales will go down. Companies will have to lay people off or cut hours until they figure something out. And as a result, you're going to have less spending in Canada, which means less buying of American goods despite the tariffs, and then it's going to also affect American exports as well. So what you need to do, take some time this next couple of weeks, preferably this week, and take an hour and just say, okay, what do I get that could be affected by these tariffs? And then there are 3 steps a company would do. So as a businessman, what would I do? I'm an engineer, but I work for a corporation. If I know we're going to have a supply cost increase, I have 3 options. One is to find another product that will fit the bill. So if you use, I think rapeseed oil is for cooking, to be honest. I honestly have no clue. It could be a lube for kinky shit. I have no idea. Let's just go with a nice assumption that it's for cooking. Okay, and by all means, put it in the comments if you know what the hell that stuff is. But let's say it's for cooking, and you're like, I can't get this oil. What else can I use? Well, I can get avocado oil. I can use olive oil from Italy, which doesn't have tariffs per se. I can maybe use margarine. I can use bacon grease from my own stuff. Find an alternative. So that's 1. Find a different product. 2, find a different supplier. Well, I can't get the rapeseed oil or the rapeseed oil cost is going to go up because of this tariff or whatever the effect may be. Can I find this substance somewhere else? Maybe from Peru. I don't know where the hell that comes from. Maybe from Algeria, wherever. Option 3, can you source it yourself? Now, if you have some property and you can plant whatever plant makes that oil, those seeds to make the oil, can you do it yourself? And now you've done that. Last one is cool. It requires a lot more time, money, and investment. But if you can successfully make the product, you can also sell your excess and recoup your costs, and you make a new income stream. So 3 steps that you can take. 1, find a different product that you can use to fit the bill. 2, find a different source to get the product you need. Or 3, make it yourself and then sell your excess and create a new revenue stream. That's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you found that interesting. And again, it was CNBC was the article I'm referencing. There are several articles out there. But yes, the tariffs China is putting on Canada at the end of March is real, but this started last year. So just to give you guys some context, you guys be good, be safe. God bless. I will see you on my next video.